Hi everyone, so I'm working on the first draft of Mangrove Road at the moment, and I wanted to talk a little bit about characters. So in this one I have four main characters, four POV point of view characters, and they are a 30-something woman, a 30-something man, an elderly man and a teenage girl. So between the four main characters, they all speak quite differently, obviously because there is an age gap between them, but also because each group has their own speech patterns. And there's a difference too between the way men and women speak. Obviously, when you're writing dialogue for them, women are more wordy, men tend to use less words to speak, and teenagers even less words. So it is quite a challenge to get that voice right and to really make them come off the page, I suppose, in the way they speak, the way they are, and to make them really, really believable characters in the same way. So the main thing I've been working on is trying to capture the right voice for each character. And so, for example, if I'm writing a teenage character, I have to write them in a way that is believable as a teenager. And the same goes for an elderly person, writing a character that is believable as an elderly person in the way that they speak, in the things that they might do, and the way they behave. And the main way I've been doing that, hopefully I've been doing that, is through dialogue. So trying to find the right dialogue for the right character, and that is actually much trickier than you would imagine. So I have been daunted lately by the task that's ahead of me. I think because I have written certainly adult characters before, that is not so much of a challenge as writing a teenager or an elderly character. And so, for example, for the teenage characters, I've been reading a lot of young adult fiction, especially really popular Australian stuff that captures the unique voice of teenagers. A little bit of their mannerisms, certainly not the way they think, because I think that is a mystery to all of us, even to themselves, but it's a really, really helpful way of getting an idea or getting into the head of young people, and certainly trying to bring them out on your page as well. I've also been reading books with older characters, which is just wonderful. There's one in particular, The Trout Opera by Matthew Condon, who has an elderly gentleman in it, and it's such an insight into the older generation, what they think, what they feel, all the wonderful stories that they have accumulated over a lifetime. And apart from being really, really good research for what I'm doing, it's also it's such a pleasure to read it, because you're reading these wonderful stories by amazing writers, and that in itself, it doesn't feel like work, it just feels like a really, really good time. So that's what I'm up to at the moment. It is a challenge, but it's also really fun as well. So I will keep you posted, but in the meantime, wish me good luck.